Hello all, we are going to get started now. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Hello everyone. May I present to you the class of fall 2022 nursing students. Hello everybody, and thank you for joining us for this very happy recognition and nursing pinning ceremony. The students have worked so hard to be here. We are going to begin with a few introductions. I am Marianne Atkinson. I am the Dean of the Health Science Division here at Bunker Hill Community College. And I'd like to introduce our Provost, Dr. James Caniff, who'd like to come up and say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see all of you here on this very special occasion. All of the students here today will be graduating from our college's nursing program, preparing them to be registered nurses. Bunker Hill Community College's nursing program is highly competitive. Its coursework is very challenging. I know all of you know that, which makes the accomplishment of this group of students really extraordinary. Anyone who's ever had a nurse in their family, and many of us I'm sure have, know the importance of this pinning ceremony. The pinning is a tradition that goes back to Florence Nightingale in the 19th century, when she would give graduates of her nursing school in London crosses to pin on their uniforms. It continues today at colleges and in ceremonies all around the world. The pin each of you receives today is a symbol of your entry into the profession of nursing. The pinning does not represent the end of your education, but the beginning of your life's work. I know that you will wear your pin with pride and with fondness from your time here at Bunker Hill Community College. I also know that it will be a reminder of your hard work, your dedication, and your sacrifice in the pursuit of all that you have had to accomplish. Lastly, I hope it will be a consistent reminder of our nursing faculty here at Bunker Hill Community College, who have passed down their collective and considerable knowledge and wisdom of the profession to you. Faculty, staff, family, and friends, please join me in celebrating the pinning of this remarkable group of nursing students and wish them well as they begin the next chapter in their careers. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Caniff. I'd like to take this opportunity to say a few words myself. I am a nurse myself and went through nursing school, so I know what all of you sitting in front of me have gone through to get here for this day. I know your faculty, your clinical instructors, and all of what I like to call the health science team nursing staff have gone through these past 2 years and imparted their wisdom, their efforts, their work, all to help get you to this point. And I would like to also talk a little bit about what your family and loved ones and friends and your people in your lives have done to help you get to this point as well. I can tell you that when I was in nursing school, I would look at all of the folks in my life to help me get through all those daily things, right? So whoever your people are in your life that helped you get here, right? Maybe they did that extra load of laundry for you. Maybe they made sure there was food in the cabinets in the refrigerator. Maybe they helped you buy flashcards or notes or quizzing you or whatever they did to help you. I would like you at this point to get up and give them a hand. One time, it was my last semester of nursing school, and things were really tough. You know, all the studying, all of the clinical hours, all of the class hours, and then my part-time job, and everything else that we all juggle and deal with. And many of you have family and children and all kinds of different obligations. I remember when I was in my last semester and I came out one morning, I was at a particularly difficult time wondering why I was doing this and how I was going to get to that end point. And I found a little note on the table written by my mother, and she wrote down, "You can do it." And I still remember that to this day, and it's 25 plus years later. So whatever that little remembrance is that you have from your loved ones in your life or your folks that helped you, please hold on to it. And please hold on to all of the things that the faculty and the adjuncts and the staff and the clinical coordinators and the administrative assistants and everyone that has helped you through your journey here at Bunker Hill has done for you. So with those words of thanks, I would like to begin our ceremony and then go to the next part of our program. We have 2 student speakers here today, and I'd like to call the first student speaker up from our day program, William Schuler.
I think my heart rate's like 230 right now. As I pull out the sheaf of papers, I'm reminded that many of the people in the audience have watched me breeze confidently past the time limit for oral presentations in class. And I'm going to try not to inflict the same thing on you today, but I might a little bit. So good afternoon, Dr. Caniff, Dean Atkinson, and Assistant Dean Savino, the representatives of the nursing department, our guests, and my beloved fellow students. I have to tell you, it is satisfying to be here. Nursing school is probably not the most grueling degree program there is, but it can be grueling in ways that are particular to it and that were new for me, and it feels very good to be celebrating with you here at the end. Someone who I'm honored to have in the audience supporting me today is my aunt, Ann Fernandez, RN, MSN, a nurse of some 40 years and a nurse educator. She was a big inspiration and mentor for me through this. She is calm in a crisis, totally unfazed by a purulent exudate, and a lifetime practitioner of what she calls the greatest of the healing arts. And I hope most people in life have a chance to know a nurse like her. And as I've been in nursing school, I've noticed that many people have stories. One of my friends was just telling me that she broke her wrist at a kickball game this summer, and a player on the other team that she thought was particularly quiet and reserved came over and said she was an ER nurse, and she stabilized the arm and told her what to expect when she got to the hospital. My friend told me this nurse knew just what to do. Well, I'm here to let the cat out of the bag, and nurses as a profession are aware of how we, the general public, think about them. In fact, on your first day in nursing school, you are given specific virtues to emulate, that you may someday become like them. They are codified into big words like autonomy, justice, fidelity, non-maleficence. And maybe the most important, or at least the one that I've thought about the most while I've been in school, is beneficence. Beneficence is doing good, literally doing what is to the benefit of other people. It is sometimes confused with, but it is not the same as meaning well. It's not following orders. It is often not even making someone feel good. After all, it can hurt to be turned in bed to get a shot. The drugs and procedures of medicine have a real risk of injury, and the body is a vast landscape. It's often not possible to know for certain what is happening, except that time will go on, the processes of the body will progress, and each nurse in their turn has about 12 hours at a time to influence that course, if they can, to intervene, if they can figure out what is happening. So in school, you set about learning this skill, often in marvelously practical ways, like in lecture last year with the inimitable Professor Tom Scully, who was going over physical examination for respiratory disease and what you ask a patient whenever they are feeling something so that you can figure out what to do. And he broke character after going through the material and turned to the class and said, "Guys, if someone's having a lot of trouble breathing, don't go asking them a ton of questions. It's good advice." I think of another time in simulation lab last semester during our maternity unit. We were doing APGAR scores on a simulated infant, because SimLab is a learning environment. That's a combination of lecture and discussion, laboratory, and clinical experience, except that the patients aren't real. They're these ingenious, life-size plastic people that individually each cost about the same as a new BMW 3 Series, so I'm told. They have been endowed electronically with a pulse, different functions that help you assess them that you can work on, and it can be defamiliarizing as a student since it's not really real. We're assessing this infant, and I feel a little bit like I'm working on the android baby of Commander Data. But I was unexpectedly moved in that moment. I don't have children. I will never give birth myself. But nursing school had made it quite obvious. Oh, when a new human being is made, what do? Well, dry the baby, warm the baby, take a look. Are they breathing? Can they scream? What color is their body? Can they move their arms and legs? And based on the answers you get, what will you do? You get asked that over and over again in nursing school. What are you going to do? Being in a patient's room for the first time, I'm so nervous, kind of like now, I'm not sure I could have told you my own name. But it turns out that just like with a fake baby, are they breathing is a pretty good start. What next? And then what after that? Well, to answer those questions, you need about 2 years in nursing school to even begin. And then they say the real education happens on the job after that. We did pathophysiology, pharmacology, physical assessment, nursing interventions, clinical skills. But when and how to use that knowledge in a clinical environment is still determined by what we see and what we hear. So the chief preoccupation of my teachers in school has been how to look well, how to listen well, to the entirety of the patient, to their body, to their story. And that's what I will take with me, I hope, as I go out into the world to practice. And the world. I don't know if all young people feel this way at some point, or if there is something particularly dire going on right now, but it can feel grim out there. Even if in this speech I confine myself just to the world of healthcare, we live in a time and place where profit is often prioritized over health, where clinical staff are stretched to the limit with fewer resources, where cruelty against the bodies of women and queer people has been legislated by some of the highest powers in this country, against hundreds of years of medical science, and it's a lot. As a younger person, I often felt despair about these things. I didn't know what to do. But after nursing school, I don't despair any longer. I won't call my new feelings hope. It feels something more like courage in my ability to say clearly what is really happening to the patient, to the body, to be honest about what will harm and what will help. I'm not telling you nurses will save the world. That isn't our charge. And besides, one nurse doesn't even heal a sick patient by themselves. It takes a whole team of clinicians working around the clock to do that. But in this little speech, which I guess you could title What I Learned in Nursing School, I wanted to tell you about the power, the usefulness of this education. And there are perks. This is my last joke, but also in life I have seen someone do something or think something that was incomprehensible to me, and I used to think, how could they think that? But one of the many powers of nursing school is now I look at that person and say, seems like that person needs a little more education on this topic, and then I move on. So, that's all just to say, in the words of the famous nurse Sarah, let's get started. It's a little joke for my homies. So I want to thank the faculty and staff of the nursing department at BHCC. They are passionate educators and excellent clinicians. I am so grateful to them. I want to recognize my family and the families of my fellow graduates for supporting us. We could not have done it without you. And finally, to my peers. I could not imagine finding a group of people to have done this with. I'm a big crier. I hope all of us will have long careers, in whatever form that might take, doing what is to the benefit of other people. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, William. And now for our next student speaker from our alternative program, Zaira Nicolo Vasquez.
Oh, Jesus. If he said he's a big crier, wait for me. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, as I'm sure many of you are. Bear with me, okay? I might become emotional, and you might hear a knot in my throat. I usually try to stop myself, but this time I'm not going to. Today is the time that we should allow ourselves to feel emotional, because we have worked so hard to achieve this dream. We should embrace these feelings and celebrate today. I dare to say that we have accomplished one of the hardest challenges we have ever faced, and can proudly say that we are on our way to becoming nurses. It's not an easy task to become a nurse, as we all know. It requires a lot of passion, dedication, and hard work. But I am sure we all have what it takes to be a great nurse. I ask we don't forget the big responsibility that this career entails. I'm sorry about that. As future nurses, we are aware that it will not be easy and that it will take time to feel comfortable in our new role. But let's be kind to ourselves. Be patient and choose our career paths wisely. If you ever feel like you are not good enough, please take a moment and look back and remember how far you have come. You are worth it. You are enough. And you are going to be as great as you want to be. I want to take a moment and think about our classmates. are not sharing this moment with us. Today, to recognize their efforts and hard work. Their timeline is different, but they will accomplish their dreams of becoming nurses. We want to thank you, our families, friends, professors, clinical instructors, scholarship donors. We need the money, huh? And all the staff that makes the nursing program at Bunker Hill Community College possible. Thank you. Thank you for supporting, guiding, and believing in us during these last 2 years. We witnessed a pandemic, and we're pushed to learn in a different and creative environment where faculty did their best to keep the program alive, and we succeeded. Tonight, we are blessed enough to be celebrating in person with our loved ones, and we honor our loved ones that are not physically with us today, but are in spirit and in our hearts. Stand your ground, be humble, be empathetic, never stop being you, learn, thrive, and go as far as you want. Let's cheer for the wins. Let's cheer for the losses, for the laughs, for the tears, and foremost, for each one of us that made us to the finish line. It has been an honor to be your classmate. Now, let's go and get that license. I love you all. Congratulations, and good luck to everyone.
Wow, what wonderful speeches. Some words that I heard throughout the 2 speeches: hope, courage, be yourself, stand your ground, stand tall, be humble. Wonderful, wonderful speeches, and all great messages as you start your career in nursing. So now, on behalf of the Director Jennifer Cochio-Thompson, myself, and Bunker Hill Community College and all of your faculty, let's start the pinning. Okay, so a few housekeeping notes. As I call your name, please come up on stage, come up to my right by the flag, process over to Assistant Dean Savino. She will be giving you your rose and your pin. And you can leave the stage on the left-hand side here, okay? Please hold on to the railings too, please. Okay, now that those housekeeping notes are done, let's begin our ceremony. I'm going to start calling your names now. Zilpa Olmo. Barsha Baral. Cassandra Brizuela. Ashley DeCastro. Christley Delsey. Emma Duquette. Yana Frelkova. Yu Gao. Ritza Gaspard.
Technical difficulties.
Perfect time for an announcement. If those of you who are sitting down and already have your pins, you're welcome to put them on.
That's okay. Okay.
John Gately.
I'll have to be back to the picture. Congratulations.
Caitlin Gilpatrick.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
We have some photography help from the audience. Feel free to grab your pictures. Jun Yon Gu.
Congratulations. Good job.
Kendra Heimlicher.
Congratulations. Okay, so we accept photographers filling in here.
I love the assistance. Saiwon Lee. Siwon Lee. Anthony Nguyen. Emma O'Donnell. Sarita Paudel Chalise.
Okay, get the second picture. Congratulations. You're welcome.
William Schuler. Gianna Sheridan. Guadong Sui.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
DM Tran. Shirley Boston.
You got this, Shirley!
Catherine Castro.
Sí se pudo, Kathy.
Chloe D. Roses.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
Kristen Dorn. Casey Flynn.
Congratulations. Job well done. Good.
Raymond Gachohu.
Good.
Yushan Liu. Charmaine Martin.
Congratulations. Thank you, Shirley.
Warren McCarthy.
Congratulations.
Joel Mendoza.
Congratulations. Good job. Exciting.
Maureen Malubu. Margaret Doho. Zaira Nocolo Vasquez.
Man, it was hard.
Yes, it was.
Congrats. Thank you. Good job.
I know, right?
Taishea Shravenko.
Congratulations. Good job.
Tercy Tammy Guan.
Congratulations. Look at this, just in time.
And Johnny Ton.
Congratulations. Good job.
Okay, everybody, big round of applause for our student graduates. Now, I would like to do a time-honored tradition of the Nightingale Pledge, but before I do, I must make a comment on how everybody pitched in and helped us with the pictures and the photography. That's what nurses do, right? You pitch in and you do what needs to be done, right? That was a perfect example. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so in your program, those of you who have programs, you'll find the Nightingale Pledge on the first page. The Nightingale Pledge is an adaptation of the Hippocratic Oath taken by physicians, was composed by Lystra Greta, an instructor of nursing at the Old Harbor Hospital in Detroit, Michigan, and was first used by its graduating class in spring of 1893. Time-honored tradition, so I'd like to ask the students to stand. And for anyone in the room who is a nurse, you're welcome to recite the pledge with us. So as I read it, please read along with me. I solemnly pledge myself before God and in the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to practice my profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession and will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and all family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling. With loyalty will I endeavor to aid the physician in his work and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care. Great job. And now I would like to invite up to the podium Assistant Dean Donna Savino to make some closing remarks.
Well, for those of you who missed the photo op, I'll stay after and we can grab a photo up on stage. But I'd like to congratulate the class and all our graduates here today. But more importantly, I'd like to applaud your decision to choose nursing as your profession. The students here today began their journey to become a nurse less than a year after the pandemic began. This was an uncertain time for many, but all of you stepped up, knowing that nursing was not only your call, but that the world needed you. Look at how you have adapted and overcome the challenges, and you've flourished. Being able to pivot in any profession is important, but in yours, it is critical. Not many people can say they went to, let alone graduated, from nursing school in a pandemic. This is your story, your journey, and we all thank you for your dedication, commitment, and hard work. But your journey continues as you leave here today. What's your next step? NCLEX. For those of you in the audience, this is the exam for nursing graduates to become licensed as an RN, and this is when all the hard work pays off. So if you look at our pass rates for 2021, they were 100%. We are 2 weeks away from getting our 2022 pass rates, but what I will say to you is go for the green light, and the students know what I mean. You are ready to take the NCLEX when you get that green light, and when you do, come in and get your voucher. Don't forget that. We know this is not the final stop. Wherever your nursing path takes you, your learning is not over. Nursing is about continued lifelong learning, so never stop asking questions, and always ask yourself why. You will learn something new every day. So in closing, I'd like to share a quote by Grace Lichtenstein that says, "Work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence noticed, just make your presence felt." So congratulations again, everyone, class of 2022. We have some box cupcakes outside on your way out if you want to grab, and we have a slideshow that really, if you can stop by, it's their journey over the last 2 years, their goals, where we're going to see you 5 years from now. But thank you all. Again, congratulations, class of 2022. Have a wonderful holiday.